What are the differences between the constructor and methods in Java? So in object-oriented programming, we have Java, C++, PHP, and Python. So constructor and methods, constructor is a method, but method you make. Constructor is already given by the programming language. So class, the constructor is a function of the class which is already by default given to you. You don't have to make a constructor if you don't want. But method is user defined. You have to make a method with respect to what kind of work you are doing. What functions do you want? So constructor has the same name as the class name. The name of the constructor and the class will be same. For example, I'm making a class, say I'm making add. The name of the class is add. So I am making a function called add. So this can only happen when add is constructor. Okay. Constructor has the exact same name as the class name. Default constructor is already provided to you by default by the class or the object-oriented programming language. But if you want to make more constructor, you can always make more constructor. There is a default constructor, many constructor you can make. But method is like you want to make a set value function. This has no link with constructor. This is just a function which is going to work on the variables you have defined. This is what you want for your class to be performing. Okay. See, the constructor is a special type of method which is used to initialize an object of its class. So whenever you make an object, if you have variables or certain other content here, you always want to initialize these values whenever you create an object, and that is only possible when you have a constructor. Constructor is only provided to you like this. You put x equals y equals 0. So whenever you make an object of this class, this x and y will automatically be 0. Okay. But method is just certain instruction in Java or C++ that you want to execute. That will fulfill the action you want. That is the work you want to do by this class. Okay. This constructor, you can say that it is just related to more through a programming language, and set value or any other function which you make is more related to you as a user. Okay. So constructor is invoked implicitly when we create an object, but for calling this set value, you have to call it explicitly through the object. So the constructor is by itself. The default constructor will implicitly be called. The method you have to call by yourself. Now, if you are making one more class and you are inheriting this class, that is called the say a child class, and this is the parent class. The constructor will not be inherited by the subclass. I am talking about Java. Okay. So methods can be inherited by the subclass. Constructor does not have any return type. Method have a return type. In constructor in Java, you cannot override the constructor, but method you can override in Java. And this overriding is all about if you are inheriting, you are making the same function in a different way. Constructor cannot be declared as static because this is user defined. No, the method is user defined. It can be declared static, but constructor cannot be declared static because it is not you have created. It is the programming language which has given you. Constructor Java compiler automatically provides a default constructor which I have been telling you. Method Java compiler does not provide any method by default. You have to make set value. You have to make get value to get it.